Kenneth Tong. I'm the sole proprietor for this clinic here. It's established since 2008, so that makes us 12 years old. We see small companion animals, birds as well. It's just like what you get for a general practitioner, but we do surgeries here as well, hospitalization, blood tests. So it's like a mini hospital, but not yet. It's more of a clinic setting, but we extend our services to what you don't usually see in a human GP setting. The biggest concern would be with the manpower, and of course the safe distancing, safe entry. It's a must to do it, obviously, but all this adds to the complications or adds to the extra time that a business needs to do. And of course, with such inconvenience, you discourage clients from coming, or you take more time for doing certain things, then you're less efficient in that sense there. So on one hand, you might need more manpower to be taking temperature, to be ensuring everyone does the safe distance and safe entry. But on the other hand, you have the Ministry of Trade and Industries saying, no, you should not have so much manpower because you do not want too many people at one premise at one time. So it's kind of like a conflicting view in that sense there. So I still think it's more of the manpower constraint that is what we're facing. I have a staff who's stuck in Philippines. You have MOM that says you need to fill up a form, get an approval before he can come into Singapore. So they're saying that he doesn't book the flight until you get an approval, which takes about 10 hours to get an approval. The thing is, there's limited flights now. If you don't book it and secure the flight, once you get an approval, the flight is gone. And then you need to book on a different seat, a different day to arrival. And when you book on a different arrival, you need to get an approval again. And it's going back to the same cycle. You get an approval, the seat is gone. So you're asking the employee or the foreign worker to actually commit to booking a flight, pay for it, and keeping the fingers crossed that it's approved. And at the end of the day, I did apply for it. MOM rejected it, saying that, they are trying to restrict the number of foreigners coming in just to keep the COVID level down under control. True, it's good initiative, but they could be just upfront and tell us which foreign worker from which country couldn't come in. So that saves our time instead of having to reapply every single day to get a rejection thing. And it also enables the employer to tell the employee what's the vision like. You're not going to come back here until at least half a month later or a month later, instead of giving the hopes when there's no hope and you're wasting everybody's time trying to book a plane when it's not going to get approved. We just train our guys, be more efficient. Easier said than done sometimes. It'll be more of we seek the understanding from the clients, we explain to them extra prolonged waiting period. Of course, you can start making appointments, but then again, this is Singapore. How many of us really keep to our appointments anyway? But there's a few varieties that we can do, and at the end of the day, it's just more of communication, understanding, and just trying to choose or modify some ways to make it more efficient. Take for instance, like my guy who's still in Philippines, and he's not back in Singapore yet for the past 3.5 months. So of course we are going to have to wonder about, do we pay his salary? If we don't pay his salary, how? I mean, the poor chap, he doesn't have a job there. So we pay a salary, but he's not over here. So that's extra expenses that we need to come out in that sense there. How are we going to make do with lack of manpower once again? So some of my other staff have to work overtime. They have to take lower roles. So these are some ways we go about doing it. I think the best budget was the JSS thing, job support scheme, where they are paying you 25 to 75% of the salary. I mean, that really helps our employers, that's for sure. It gives us the additional extra budget over there. I was able to ensure that all my staff have their full salary during times where the business is low. Your profits, your revenue definitely will go down during the circuit breaker period. But with that amount from the JSS that gives you, it gives you the additional buffer to save and to stretch on beyond phase 1, phase 2, even phase 3. I guess the other part that was helpful was from MOM. They gave you a levy rebate. Yes, that helps. We would rather have the staff back though than to get the rebate, but I guess, you get some is better than nothing. So yes, we have embarked into it. We used to be one of those that use paper and pen to write down the case history and stuff and do manual filing. Now we do digital. It looks good, it's great, big investment, that's for sure, but thanks to PIC and ICV, it helps defray some costs. But with everything, I mean, it seems good. It seems good. But there's always a drawback on the other end. You need to teach your staff on how to use this technology. So if you need more time, you need someone specially to do the registration, means you need extra staff. So how are you going to decrease your manpower on one hand, but on the other hand, by being digital, you need extra one more person to key all this in. Most obvious one would be aesthetic. Makes it look nice, makes it look advanced. That brings you up to a more modern age in that sense over there. It saves space, yes. Instead of having drawers and drawers full of records, you have it all in the server. So save space is easily retrievable. So in that sense there, yes, it pays off for itself. Does it make it more efficient? It depends. If you're saying efficiency in pulling up records in terms of emailing records over, yes, it's efficient. But is it efficient in the sense that you're typing, sitting in front of a computer and typing instead of writing? No, I think in that aspect, it's not efficient. So it depends which sector. But as an overall, yes, it's definitely a step in the right direction. It's definitely going to take a slow start, even though we are essential service. So even though we are in phase 2, we still see a 20% reduction in business. So definitely, I don't think that just because we're in phase 1 or phase 2, there's a rebound. What I like to see it is whatever we have lost in March, April, and May is gone forever. It's not going to come back to you again. I don't think the business reduced was fully due to the circuit breaker aspect, because the number of vet centers in Singapore is growing year by year, and that by itself is actually already affecting the business. So I just think the pandemic, the circuit breaker, just add on to it, or just made it faster in that sense there. That is definitely going to give you some competition. That is definitely going to take a few percentage of your business away. That is just going to get more and more, right? More and more people are looking at that aspect over there, which this pandemic in that sense there, in a way, they're already promoting tele-consultation. So that it's a boom for a selected few players in this industry. I guess if I embark into such thing as well, yeah, then I would be able to reclaim some clientele maybe, if I do teleconsultation and video consultation, which we do anyway, but it's just that we don't outright broadcast it. We could of course embark into some other thing like consultancy, maybe giving seminars, lectures, training programs, which we are in a way, but at the end of the day, it depends on the business also. How much more do you want to expand? The bigger you are, the bigger risk that there is during a pandemic like this. So in my opinion, my place here, I am trying to actually aim for sustainability and status quo. Well, I sure hope none of them are struggling, but invest in your stuff. I think at the end of the day, it's a teamwork kind of thing. It's a small business over here. We're not running a big MNC or so. So it's a small SME. We have a staff of about 12 to 13 staff. It's like a family. Invest in your staff. Make them feel appreciated. Take care of them. Though there's a pandemic or so, ensure that their livelihood continues. Ensure that they will still get paid. If you do need to give them a pay reduction, explain to them, but draw up a path so they can see the vision clearly. So I would rather invest in the staff than anything else. Happy staff, happy business, your clients will find out themselves. They would then come to a place that's happy.